All right, I'm Jacob Lee, head of sales. Appreciate everyone making time. So before we get started in here, I think kind of coming back to the theme here, if you follow the zero trust market at all, you've noticed that everyone's tying their product to zero trust these days, right? If you're in the network realm, Cisco, it's about zero trust. If you're an identity provider, they're the epicenter of zero trust. If you're a mobile MDM provider, MDMs are now the center of zero trust, right? What we've seen in this sort of scenario is that you really need to have all these different contextual factors included, and you need something to tie everything together and bring it together with the various signals and then provide and grant real-time granular zero trust access to systems. So a few of the customers that we work with today, two innovative companies. We've got Fortune 100 companies, and we have all the way down to startup companies as well, located in the Bay Area here. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of Banyan. Very, very cool car. They're an EV company, autonomous platform that is actually unicorn status, headquartered in the Bay Area here, but also in China, so global company, founded by ex-leaders of Volkswagen and Nissan. And their challenge was they had, from a user side, they had a distributed workforce. They had users in China, they had users in the US, they had BYOD devices, they had corporate devices, they had dynamic infrastructure in a multi-cloud realm, but they also had traditional enterprise applications, so the traditional ERP type applications, because they are a car manufacturer. And what they needed to do is they needed to provide secure zero trust access outside of the VPN layer. In addition to that, not only did they have these different users, different devices, different locations, but they were deploying pretty unique architecture on Kubernetes with containers as well. And what they wanted is they wanted a seamless solution that could go end to end, that they could deploy one platform with our command center and manage users' devices, their access to application servers, whether they're on-premise ERP or they're multi-cloud servers in AWS or GCP, but also all the way to extend to authorization between services as well. So what we did there is we replaced the VPN. We enabled a singular zero trust platform that went end to end with our intelligent access mesh. We did a rapid rollout. So the cool thing about Banyan as well, when we're saying this thing deploys in about 15 minutes, it's really fast. You don't have to make any changes to your applications, to your networks, to your servers. It's essentially a transparent layer on top of your infrastructure and your applications. And that's one of the beauties about being in the AWS marketplace and the GCP marketplaces, where if someone wants to start with a singular use case, say I want to provide zero trust access for SSH or RDP use cases for server access, say for DevOps, you can spin that up and have it running right away. In addition to that, so we integrated with their existing SSO, which I believe was Okta, and their existing MDM tools, tied it all together, and essentially provide unified access control for their users and services end to end. In addition to that, we removed all hurdles to developer productivity, so they didn't have to deal with VPNs or manage spinning up VPNs.
I have a quick question that I
Sure.
just thought of that's not actually related to sales, so I apologise.
Yeah.
Is there something in the system that says, I acknowledge that this device doesn't meet the minimum requirements for this, but I can add that exception just to this device? Can you do that in your system?
So you want to add something as part. Yeah, I think when you create a role, basically a role is basically a set of attributes in our system, and one aspect of the role could be, hey, anything but this device. That
So
could be your
Okay.
A form of temporary human override.
Yeah, we do have that.
That was the other thing I wanted to say. Can that be temporary, and can I assign that to the compliance officer, and they get a notification every time, one, that exception is created, and two, when it expires, for example?
Yeah, so that's exactly, you saw everything was pretty dynamic, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of create something, and then, you can always go and take it out anytime, and it'll immediately have effect.
Yeah, so security is a balance between securing things, and user experience. And what we've come to market with is with a platform that provides more of a frictionless approach. I mean, zero trust is kind of a scary word to a lot of large enterprises out there, least privilege access. So we tried to make it as frictionless as possible, so you could update your own policies and organizational approaches to deploying and delivering access to particular assets. Cool. So I'll run through the last customer here. So Blue Voyant, global MSP, founded by leaders at Morgan Stanley, Thomson Reuters, the FBI, and NSA, headquartered in New York. Their challenge was they are DevOps-centric organization. They like low user friction. They need to deploy consistently, but at the same time, they are very, very security minded. They're a global cybersecurity provider to a lot of the large private organizations out there today. And they were using VPNs in their heavy multi-cloud. So essentially, they had over 50 privileged networks that they were managing VPN access for. So it became very cumbersome. It became very complex, and it didn't provide that least privilege access that they needed for compliance initiatives at Blue Voyant. So essentially, with Banyan, they were able to deploy us rapidly. We increased their security while improving their end user experience. So their DevOps folks had a much seamless, easier approach to accessing their applications. In addition to that, they worked with us on our trust scoring, where we were able to bring together the authentication, so the SSO capabilities, the device capabilities, and also other signals like an EDR. They had Carbon Black today, where we can bring it all together, assign a trust score, not only provide data, but that trust score would determine the policy and enforce the access. So it's not just a data solution. We're essentially providing data, but based on that data and policies, we're enforcing access to their particular application. So with them, we're able to reduce their network management tickets and complexity by over 80%. And we help them achieve compliance controls with our Zero Trust platform.
All right. Since you're talking about customers, which team typically runs this product? Is it the server team, the network team?
So what we've seen is security architects are interested in this product today. We've seen kind of a mix. So security architects will kind of define the vision. And I've seen a lot of security architects as well. They want to look at holistically, what are we doing today? What do we have that's legacy? What do we need to improve? What's new? What's kind of cutting edge? And what works but is cutting edge? And we work with them a lot. We introduce our platform. Typically, we'll start with the POC, so we can do a short trial of the platform in a few days and prove out the product. But in addition to that, we have use cases where DevOps guys have like scenarios where security says, hey, you got to get rid of your VPNs. And they're kind of in a bind. So they need to figure out solutions that would provide zero trust access for their systems without deploying a VPN as well. And a lot of times these guys are engineers and not even on the security side. And it's more about performance and meeting compliance initiatives handed down to them from security control teams.
What's the largest number of users and devices you guys put under control?
Jordan?
I don't want to show off, but close to 75,000 and maybe about 300,000 devices. So
Okay.
Our biggest customer is pretty big.
Thank you.
I have another question. This is regarding kind of sales-ish, not really. But one thing that I often see a lot of organizations, especially my clients, I guess, but they really want to use these products, but the senior leadership, the board, etc., they need to actually see the benefit, and like maybe they've agreed to it but don't quite understand what it's doing. Do you have a kind of like a automated monthly reporting that you can analyze the trends even down to the devices or users, that's more technical for the tech, but also more of a high level that kind of says, yes, this is succeeding, or no, this is
Here's the ROI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tarun's writing that down for roadmap right now.
But I think
I
call it
expect
the
a shout out.
The Zoe 2.0 roadmap.
We're like besties at this point.
honestly, I was writing the phishing training one down.
Aw, I'm hurt.
No, but I think reporting in general is a very strong, it's our strong suite, but it's
Okay.
also, I think, one of the most commonly requested features.
Yeah.
So we keep adding, we have a whole section called reporting.
Okay.
And
lovely.
more and more reports we will add but the data is always all there. Right?
I also had this one question that made me think of what your response about DDoSing. But is there any is there been a situation that you've seen where it's like a person is constantly almost like testing the boundaries? Like they're like, oh, if I access this site, am I going to be cut off? Okay, well, I'll leave it. If I access it, is there like somebody that like looks bloody suspicious and
Outside of
probably is?
Well, there's one guy who keeps downloading malware to see if we catch it.
Yeah, so I think the short answer is I don't think we've come across those kinds of people, but the little longer answer is that one of the things that we do is look at that kind of activity as affecting their trust score at the end of the day.
Okay,
so
good.
if they continuously do it, then that'll directly keep affecting their trust score enough that they get completely screwed beyond a point. So.
And then you could totally build that into your phishing training skills.
Yeah. All right. Just
Okay.
maybe one last.
So just to wrap up here, guys, founded on 3 concepts here: quantifying trust, granting continuous authorization, and providing distributed enforcement to make sure the right people have the right access to their applications and services in a least privileged scenario. So thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it.